So I won't tell you what's going to happen next. We have to wait until it's installed somewhere. So the next project I show you is called Downpour, and I'm now moving on to projects which are more conceived in a city scale size. And this was a project I did in Winnipeg in Canada when Stephen was working at Plug-in Institute of Contemporary Art and invited me to do an installation there in the gallery space. And the idea was that I should produce a project which would only be seen from the outside in the 6 gallery windows. So I was interested in changing the condition of the long and empty gallery space continuously during the duration of the show. And for this project, for this show, I developed the project right for the show. So we're talking about these, not the one to the very right, but the 6 windows next to it. They all had to be part of the show, or they should be, or they could be part of the show. So I got this very nice, beautiful summer image of Winnipeg, but the show was supposed to be in February. So it took me quite a while to understand that in February there would be completely different temperatures there. And so I thought the medium of changing the condition of the space could be silhouettes of water which would slowly fill up the space. So I filmed in an aquarium which I got, fairly big aquarium, but like still an aquarium. I filmed water, but the shade of the shadow of water dropping into the aquarium, and the idea was that I wanted to make the water feel heavy, of course, and slow, as if it was full with water, that space. And so I had to blow up the water quite a bit and also make it much slower so that one would feel this heaviness of water in the windows. And what I said that in Winnipeg it gets very, very cold. The average temperature is, I think, about 5 degrees Fahrenheit and gets down to -40 Fahrenheit a lot. So people really don't walk around, which I first thought from these beautiful summer images, but they really are in their cars all the time. So the project was really very much made for cars passing by the gallery space at evening and watching the windows change, the water level change every evening. So was a plan. So again, I had to find a way of testing the idea in Berlin, and I couldn't really I couldn't really find a place where I would be able to test six projectors in 6 windows. So this is a little video just showing one way of helping oneself, trying out things. It's my computer screen in the studio I'm showing here. So I put 6 QuickTime films, which made my computer collapse, obviously, but it made me, I could see how would the water, because I had to use 6 different DVD players, since we couldn't synchronize the DVD players. They all had to run on their own, and obviously them running on their own, they would always be different to each other, because they don't all run the same speed. So you would have funny movements, that the water wouldn't always be the same movement. And trying this on the computer, I was very, very worried about this, but then seeing this on the computer, on this little animation, I saw it's actually quite nice that the water might move in different directions. So really, maybe like the chandelier project, this is a bit like some magic power makes a space change. So one doesn't really, one doesn't only imagine the masses of water within the space, but one fears that the windows would burst. One feels a lot of pressure on the glass. there's a very little distance between the glass and the projection plane, so you don't really know where the projection exactly is happening. And you forget, with this project, you forget it's a video projection. What becomes much more important is the idea of the water in the space, and that's what I'm interested in, or that's what I was interested in. And it's maybe quite a good example of how minimal I work. These films are not at all interesting. If you saw it on a video screen in some gallery, it would be quite boring, but they only work within the space. They can't be shown in their own. So day by day, this water level would rise all the way up to the top. And you would get these very big drops and so it was the only evening. It was really nice with the open. It was quite warm actually, not warm, but it was fairly warm. We could actually be outside and watch it from the outside, which was quite nice. So I move on to the next. Just two photographs I show in between. Again here in the photograph, as maybe with Downpour you just saw, it's not so much about this being a photograph of a man with a lovely red jumper ice skating, but it's more about imagining the space behind the picture plane, which is the focus picture plane is the scratched glass of an hockey ice rink, and so that's what I'm interested in. I'm not really interested in referring to the medium, but I'm just interested in the space which you create or which you have to imagine as an observer. So I'm going to move on to the next most public video installation I did in Berlin. A long time ago, this was the first project I did when I started doing artwork again. Osterscheinung, I can't really translate. It's Easter enlightenment, maybe you would translate it. And it's a project where I filmed two rabbits, the shadows of two rabbits in my studio, and then projected it first of all in a gallery window during a Easter weekend. I think it was 1999.